Hello everyone, today we're doing TryHackMe's GoldenEye capture the flag, so we'll just copy the IP address. And this one's a walkthrough capture the flag, so there's a bunch of questions asked, and the first one is use Nmap to scan the network for all ports, how many ports are open. So obviously we'll do that. That's not supposed to be in capital, not for me at least. So we'll just do an Nmap scan. Set the IP down here too. So it's got 4 ports open. Now it says take a look on the website, take a dive into the source code to remember to inspect all scripts. And then go to view page source, and then we have a terminal JavaScript. So if we click on that, we can see it says Boris, make sure you update your default password. So when we come here, it says who needs to make sure to update their default password. That's Boris. And then it says what is their password. So right here it says I encoded your password below. So if we just copy this and then go to CyberChef, we don't need this page anymore. Just paste it here and then do magic, and we get a password invisible hacker, or invincible hacker, not invisible. So that's for Boris, and the password is that. So for the answer, what is their password? Invincible hacker. Now it says now go to use those to log in. So if we go back over here, it says navigate to Sev Home to log in. So we'll just paste the password and then Boris. Not now. Now, if you read right here, it says, remember, since security by obscurity is very effective, we have configured our POP3 service to run on a very high non-default port. So we don't need this anymore right now, or this. So with POP3 being open on a high port, let's see what the next questions are. Says take a look at some of the other services found using your Nmap scan. Are the credentials you have reusable? No answer needed. If those creds don't seem to work, can you use another program to find other users and passwords? Maybe Hydra. What's their new password? So with that, we're just going to use Hydra. And for Boris, I'm just going to go like that and then go back. So for Boris, and so it's just Hydra with the L flag for one user, and then we're using the fast track password list because it's not in the Rock U list. Found that out the hard way 14 million passwords later. And it says inspect port 55007. What service is configured to use this port? Obviously, it was POP3. And now we got the password, which is secret 1. So let's copy this so we have that as well. So what's their new password? Secret 1. Let's put that over here as another one. And then it says Log in using the service and the credentials you found earlier. What can you find on this service? So obviously it's going to be email since that's. So just do netcat and then the IP address and then the port. And then you're going to type user space Boris, enter, pass space, and then paste the password and then enter. And then just hit list or type list. And it'll show all the emails, and then just hit to view them. It's RETR, and then the number in front of them. So the next question is, what can you find on this service? So that would be emails. What user can break Boris's code? So this first email says, Boris, this is admin. You can electronically communicate to coworkers and students here. None of this is useful. So RETR2. And then we get one from Natalia that says, Boris, I can break your code. So Natalia is the person who can break the code. And let's add that over here. And it says, now let's look at the last one. This one says, Boris, our corporation with syndicate, none of this is really useful, except for the other username, Zeno. So let's just Control C to get out of that, and then we'll do Hydra again, but we'll use Natalia as the name this time. I think I spelled that right. Nataly. And we get another password, and that's bird for Natalia. So let's copy that and put it up here. So now let's log into her mail and see. So just do netcat again, and then user Natalia, and then pass bird, and then list. And we get 2. So let's look at the first one. And this one's Natalia from root Ubuntu. Natalia, please, you need to stop breaking Boris's code. Also, you're the G&O supervisor for training. I will email you once the student is designated to you. Also, be cautious of possible network breaches. So nothing really useful in there. So let's look at the second one. And this one we get login credentials. So let's copy that and put these up here too. These are for Zena. So this one says that we need to go to this internal domain. So let's copy this right here and put that in our host. Because it says that right here, since you're a Linux user, point this server. So let's add that to our host file up here. And then we need the IP address. And then save. And then we need to go to this website. So go back up here and just pop a new one tab. And we get a Moodle instance. So let's log in with our username that we got. Xena, so it's XENIA tab, and then paste the password, login. No, not now. No, login. There we go. So now if we just go to my profile and then messages, Dr. Dokes. So let's look at the questions again, what we have. Yeah, we're right here to put the host, and now it says try using the credentials you found earlier. Which user can you log in as? And that is Xena. And it says have a poke around the site. What other users can you find? And that's Doak right here. So that would be a DOAK. And it says what was this user's password? So now that we have the name Dr. Doak, we have to use Hydra again. So let's go back here and cancel that, and then sudo Hydra, and we're just gonna change this to Doak. So we have another user that we could add up here. And then we get the password for goat. So let's put that up in our list of stuff. And it says what was their user's password? That's goat. And it says use their credentials to go through all the services you have found to reveal more emails. What is the next user you can find from Dr. Doak? So now we just do the netcat again. And user Doak pass goat list. And we only have one. So let's look at that. And we get another username, Dr. Doak, and password. So let's copy that and add it to our list of goodies. So now the question is, what is the next user you can find from Doak? And that would be Dr. Doak. So it would just be spelled DR_DOAK. And it says, what is this user's password? And that's right here for England. Now it says, take a look at their files on Moodle. Download the attachments and see if there are any hidden messages inside them. So let's go back on Moodle. We'll log out of Xena. Then we'll log in as Dr_Doak, and then password is going to be the England, and then login, not now. And then if we go to my profile, my private files, and then look in here, we see a secret.txt, so let's download that. And then we'll just cap the secret, and it says I was able to capture this app admin creds through clear text. The text throughout most web apps within the GoldenEye server are scanned, so I cannot add the credentials here. Something juicy is located at this, so let's just copy this, and then we'll go back up to the web page, and we'll just add that to the end of this, and then hit enter. And then we'll save this picture. And then you can go back. And then we have the so we'll just do XF tool on that picture. And then we see that there's a base 64 line right here for the image description. So we'll just copy that and then echo that into base 64 decode and pipe it into base 64 to decode. And now we get another password, winter 1995. So that is for the admin. So now we have all those. So now it says use the information you found in the last task to log into a newly found user at this as this user has more site privileges, you are able to edit the Moodle settings. From here, get a reverse shell using Python and Netcat take a look at into A-Spell, the spell checker. Okay, so for that, we'll go back here and we'll log out, log in, and then we'll go to admin, and then we'll paste the password, and then log in. Not now. So for here, we're going to go to edit settings, and then we're going to go to server, and then system paths, and then right here where it says path to A-Spell, there's a code right here. So we're just going to open up another tab and then get a Python reverse shell. So just do Python 3 shortest, and then make sure this is your proper port and IP address, and then just copy the whole thing, and then we'll paste this into here, and then just do save changes, and then we're going to go up to plugins, and then text editors, and then TinyMC, and then right here you're going to change it to P-Spell Shell, and then just hit save changes, and then here you're going to go to profile, blogs, add a new entry, and then before we do anything else, do a netcat listener, and then just hit the spell check right here, wherever it's at, right here, and it'll give you a shell. So now we got the spell checker. So now we just need to upgrade the shell. So shell equals bin bash script dash q dev null, and then background it's stty echo raw, you know the deal, and then export term equals x term. And the reason why it's doing that wrap is because you need to set the rows and columns. So rows would be 24 on mine, and then columns would be 180, and then boom, it's magic and it fixes itself. So now we'll just go to home and see what's there. Now we'll go back to see what the questions are. So now it says, take a look in A-Spell, enumerate the machine manually. So it gives you a script in the description for this Linux privilege escalation checker in Python. So let's just use this. We'll just copy the whole thing from the site, and then we'll use it on, we'll set it up on, or we'll put it in a file on our computer. I'm just going to call it lp.py to make it easy, and then paste it. But you got to make sure to change the shebang, because whoever wrote this did not want you to use it just straight like this, and it'll error out. So you got to put user bin dash environment Python, and then save it, and then start a Python server on your side. And then we'll just change directory into temp, and we'll just do a chain command to pull it over. So we'll do wget http your IP address, and then make it executable. And then just run it right after that. So just you can shut down this for now. So the next questions are, what is the kernel version? and it says you can download the exploit from, and then it says this machine is vulnerable to overlays or overlay FS exploit. So we'll get to that in a second. But from this, when it says in the thing enumeration is key, what it's really hinting at for you to be able to use this exploit, since it's written in C, it just doesn't say it here, but it's written in C. So you need to compile it on the other machine, but it doesn't have GCC in the installed tools. But it does have CC, which is another version of it that's you can still use. So to get the kernel version, I'm not going to read through all this. You can just do uname -a, and it's right here. This is the kernel version. So just copy that. Was the kernel version there. So now to get this exploit, since it's overlays the FS, we'll just copy this. You can go to that link, or you can just do it like this and do Searchsploit. And then it'll pop up right here, and this is the one that you need right here. So just copy that, and then do Searchsploit -m, and then that file name, and it'll pull it over to your side. And then in the thing, it says fix the exploit to work with the system you're trying to exploit. Remember, enumeration is your key. What developmental tools are installed on the machine? That's what it's talking about with the CC. So when you nano this script and you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see a line right here that says lib systems, GCC, C, whatever. Just go up to that and change the GCC to CC. Just get rid of the G, and then save it. And then start a Python server again. And we'll just transfer it over to run it on that side. So we just do wget HTTP, your IP address, and then the number is what, 37292.c, and then you're just gonna go to and you're gonna do CC, and then you're gonna do the name of it. So it's gonna be 37292.c, and then the O flag for the output file. Let's just call it run to make it easy. And then you're just going to do and then just run the run, and you should get the hashtag sign that shows that you're a root. So now you can just change directory into the root directory, and then LSLA, and you get the flag as a hidden file. So cat flag.txt, and you get the final flag right here. And then if you want to see a little action scene, you can just click on this link and it'll show you to a scene from the movie. But that's it for this capture the flag. Like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, hit me up. Peace.